Hello everyone and welcome back to HITC Football. I hope you're all having a great day, and in today's video we're doing a Where Are They Now, but we're doing it with a little bit of a twist. We're not going to be naming a team, we're not going to be naming players from a certain squad. We're going to be taking a look at Championship and Football Manager WONDERKIDS and seeing if the game predicted that they were right and giving you a little bit of background to where these hyped players from the game are now. So without further ado, let's just crack into it. Click that first link in the description. Thank you. Championship Manager and Football Manager have correctly predicted the future success of several superstars over the years, but not every player has lived up to their potential. WONDERKID is a word that increases your heartbeat whenever it shows up next to one of your youth prospects, and a player with the capability to become a Ballon d'Or winner definitely made you put some extra care into that one individual. We're focusing on the Football Manager era of 2005 onwards, but we have to start with the ultimate Championship Manager WONDERKID. Serno Samba. In the game, Samba was your go-to striker if you wanted guaranteed success. We're talking 60 plus goals per season. In real life, he was signed by Millwall at just age 13 on the back of 132 goals in 32 games for his school team, was tipped to win the World Cup for England, and was wanted by the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, which made sense looking at his stats and his statistics. He would never make such a high-profile transfer and eventually retired at age 30, having never played above the Championship. Although Samba didn't achieve in real life what he managed for so many players on Championship Manager. Next player, Freddie Aidew. It's forbidden by law to discuss FM WONDERKIDS without at least mentioning Freddie Aiddew's astonishing story. He was labelled as the next Pele after starting his professional career at the age of 14, scoring 4 times at the 2003 Under-17 World Championship. In the early versions of Football Manager, he was a real menace to society year in, year out, regularly topping the goal scoring charts and single-handedly carrying teams to Champions League glory. He trialled for Manchester United in 2006, but it wasn't to be. His career saw him play for 13 different teams in 8 countries, never scoring more than 10 goals at any of them apart from the initial appearances he made at DC United, and even then he only managed to score 11 in 87 games. After retiring in 2018, Aidew later returned back to professional football at a team in the 3rd tier of Sweden, who terminated his contract after a month because he wasn't fit enough. Next player, Kerlon. Everybody knows Kerlon because of his trademark seal dribble, but it's fair to say more was expected of the Brazilian. He may have not been able to perform his incredible act in FM, but his stats in the 2006 edition made him a world beater on the virtual pitches. In real life, however, he only made 51 appearances throughout his career after leaving Brazil in 2008. He retired in early October 2017 after spending 3 months without a club. Anthony Vandenball, one of several players on this list who was rated as a WONDERKID across several games. Literally every FM nut would have signed Vandenball at least once at some point. Available to sign for around 1 million as an 18-year-old at Anderlecht in FM 07, Vandenball was guaranteed to become the best right back in the game. But his biggest claim to fame in reality is probably being the player Chris Kamara didn't realise had been sent off when commentating on a game in 2008.
I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed that. Red card.
And to be honest, you'd probably forgotten that it was even Vandenball. He was playing for Portsmouth that day in 2017, and he signed for Congolese side after turning on his decision to retire at age 29. He left after 4 months. Remarkably, after 3 months without a club, Vandenball was re-signed by Anderlecht in 2020, reuniting with his former teammate and fellow FM WONDERKID, Vincent Kompany. Perhaps unsurprisingly, he didn't play a single game and he left at the end of the season. Henry Savic. Henry Savic was the second coming of Christ for FM 08 fans, but Newcastle's raid for the midfielder in 2016 didn't really work out. It was one of the strangest situations for a player in recent history. He only had played 8 times for the Magpies after moving to St James's Park from Bordeaux in January 2016 and was loaned out 4 times, but most recently to Bursaspor in Turkey in the 18-19 season. He finally left in July 2021 when his contract ran out. After sitting and earning money for not playing, he wasn't even registered in Newcastle's Premier League squad. At 31, he's still without a club and his career might as well be over. One that everybody should know here, Carlos Vieira. Ranked as one of the world's most exciting teenagers by World Soccer in 2007 and a WONDERKID in FM 09, plenty who saw Carlos Vieira at close quarters would agree Football Manager scouts were absolutely right in their assessment. Unfortunately, the Mexican only showed flashes of his ability after getting his big move to Arsenal and has gone on to have a career that has been good but certainly not as good as was hoped. He is still playing football over in the MLS for Los Angeles FC, where he's their best player. Kuma Babaka. If you were willing to be patient in FM10, you could sign Kuma Babaka as a 16-year-old from Fiorentina and eventually end up with the world's best striker. He's now 27 and has played for 5 clubs on loan compared to the 3 on a permanent basis, which probably says something. The Senegalese international now plays for FC Copenhagen and has just 2 goals and 2 assists in 8 appearances. Not quite the best striker in the world, but certainly not a bad return for the 29-year-old. Yaya Sanogo. In FM21, a certain Yaya Sanogo was a must-buy thanks to his fantastic finishing, but it's safe to say he didn't come close to replicating his digital counterpart's success in real life, despite getting the chance to join Arsenal in 2013. Indeed, he only scored a single goal for the Gunners before being released on a free in 2017. He's still only currently 29, but there's already plenty of reasons to ask why that could have been. He was a free agent from July 2020 after scoring 16 goals and 72 appearances for 2 leagues, but joined Huddersfield in February 2021, playing 9, scoring none and missing 1 penalty. Now without a club once again, Sanogo recently explained why. COVID happened. There's a lot of players in this situation. Clubs have less money, so they're a bit more reluctant, especially mid-season. I had contacts with certain clubs, some didn't interest me, others were thinking about it, but they didn't follow up. It's become very hard. John Fleck. It's funny to think that John Fleck was once one of the players with the best potential in FM, and one of his more heralded players. His reputation earned when he was a Rangers player who burst onto the simulation scene armed with the Premier League worthy stats at the age of 19. In our universe, he stayed in Scotland until 2012 before jumping over to Coventry City and eventually then to Sheffield United, where he established himself as an important player for Chris Wilder's Premier League Blades. Unfortunately for him, Sheffield United only stayed in the Premier League for 2 seasons, and he's now still with them in the Championship. Arguably one of the most successful ones on this list, Yuri Tillemanns. Another player who was highly rated across several games, but in real life, Yuri Tillemanns is still only 24 with plenty of time to fulfill his potential. He joined Monaco from Anderlecht in 2018 before moving to the Premier League with Leicester City, where he has been a real success, his loan deal becoming permanent in the summer of 2019. A big move looks on the horizon this summer, but as we get now to the end of the window, it's looking like he'll be a Leicester player for another season. And if his FA Cup winning goal is anything to go by, then he deserves it. That still haunts me every night as a Chelsea fan. But you know what else haunts me? The fact that you haven't hit the like button yet and left a comment and subscribed to the channel. And also checked out that link in the description. But if you are enjoying the video, as mentioned, please do all that good stuff as I crack into Carlos Vieira. A goal-scoring machine in both FM13 and FM14, Carlos Vieira made his first transfer in real life at the end of 2017. However, rather than a move to one of Europe's biggest clubs as Football Manager fans might have expected, he remained in Mexico, joining Cruz Azul. He moved to the MLS with San Jose Earthquakes and then moved back to his home country with new La Liga MX side Juarez. A solid career, but again, not quite the best striker in the world. Up next, and Arsenal fans will be delighted because it's Martin Odergaard. Given Real Madrid signed Martin Odergaard as a 16-year-old in 2015, it's fair to say the Football Manager scouts weren't the only ones who saw the Norwegian's potential. He has been gradually improving year on year and at one point written off as a flop. He enjoyed a productive loan spell with Heerenveen, sorry for the pronunciation, in 2018 and then Real Sociedad. Madrid were happy to let him go to Arsenal on loan last season where he impressed, so the Gunners pulled the trigger on a £30 million deal for the player. And that's been a real bargain, the Norwegian becoming a huge part of Mikel Arteta's young side, who is expected to captain next season. Just 23 years old, he's only getting better. From one Premier League player to another, let's go with
Ruben Neves.
It didn't matter which club you were managing in FM16, if you wanted a world-class defensive midfielder, you signed Ruben
Neves.
Plain and simple. Casual observers might assume the fact now he is at Wolves in real life means that FM scouts got it wrong, but that isn't really the case. The Portugal international has now established himself as a Premier League talent with Wolves, and he is still regularly scoring belters just because he can. And if you don't know the belters I'm on about, go up to that search bar and type in Ruben
Neves
goals. Trust me, it'll be a good watch. Gabrielle Barboza. Tipped to become the next Neymar by many, his 2016 move to Inter promised much, but delivered little sadly. 1 goal and 3 loans to be precise. Still just 25, he rekindled his career back in Brazil at Flamengo. His first season brought 43 goals in 59 games, as he played a pivotal role in their Copa Libertadores triumph, turning the final against River Plate with 2 late goals. He's therefore still a brilliant pickup in modern FN, giving you strength in depth up front for particularly nothing. Whether he wants to make another such move in real life is still unknown. With thousands upon thousands of talented youngsters featured every year in FM databases, this list could virtually go on forever. In the 2018 edition, it was another Brazilian, Vinicius Jr, with perhaps the highest potential out of all young players in the game. Real Madrid agreed to sign him for 38 million from Flamengo when he turned 18, and this season he's had a breakout campaign. He's becoming one of the world's most important figures, and he doesn't look like stopping anytime soon. Even if they did manage to sign Kylian Mbappe, I don't think Vinicius Jr would have gone anywhere. Let's move on to a defender. Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt is the only defender on this list, but his stats on the 2019 edition made him a Football Manager favourite. The centre-back moved to Juventus for 67.5 million after leading Ajax to a domestic double and the semi-finals of the Champions League in 2018-19. He endured a difficult first few months in Italy, finding himself on the bench under Sarri, but he became a regular again, first under Pirlo and now under Allegri. Ansu Fati. After making his first team debut for Barcelona at 16, Fati overtook Messi and Bojan to become Barcelona's youngest ever goalscorer in La Liga at just 16 years and 10 months old. He also became Spain's youngest ever appearance maker since 1936 and their youngest ever goalscorer. Injury has wreaked havoc on the youngster since November 2020, with the winger only playing 10 games this season. Still only 19, hopefully he can put the past behind him and become one of the best players in the world. Let's go for Leeds goalkeeper, Mesolith. It's been quite a couple of seasons for Leeds United's Mesolith. Given first team opportunities at Leeds during the promotion run-up, the youngster did more than enough to retain his spot in Marcelo Bielsa's team. He's been at Leeds starting goalkeeper in both the Premier League seasons and made the most saves than any other shot stopper in 2021-22. Incredibly young for a goalkeeper at 22, his future seems bright. Leeds might not have to buy a goalkeeper for many more years to come. Moving on to our final player, Kareem Adeyemi. In FM 22, affording the best wonderkids is quite hard. Erling Haaland seems to be destined for Man City or Bayern Munich every single save. That's where Adeyemi steps in. He's been outrageous this season in Austria for RSB Salzburg, putting away 16 in 25 league games as well. And on top of that, also 3 in the Champions League. He was expected to leave last summer, but nothing materialised. Yet he didn't let that deter him. Plenty of FM managers already know how good he is. However, he's a cheap alternative to Haaland, who rapidly develops into one of the best strikers in the game and in the world. He was destined for a big move this summer and decided to go to Dortmund, where let's hope for Dortmund, after selling Haaland, he can keep up his fantastic form. But that just about wraps up the video. It's been your boy RevBoy from HITC Football. Link in the description, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like and also put your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you'd like to see any more game related content like this in future, let me know. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed. So make sure, as always, to have a good day and go watch another video like these two that are going to pop up now. Bye!